Over the last year, there's been a big increase in mobile-style games being ported over the PS4, and there's a new one called iZombie. But is this mobile game worth playing on your PS4, or is it best left to your phone? iZombie is set up very much like your typical mobile-style game, with 30 levels in the game to complete, and not only is your goal to beat those levels, but also to see how many stars you can end up earning, with 3 stars being the most per level. The game has a simple but fun premise. You're controlling a zombie and your goal is to munch and infect the soldiers and civilians on each of the maps. Once they are all taken out, you've completed the level. Most of the time your goal is to see how many zombies you can amass and keep alive, and that's what determines your star rating. There is no game over or fail unless your main zombie ends up getting taken out. Controls are very simple. You just move your zombie onto a civilian or soldier in order to eat them, and then to control your minions, you can have them follow you, you can have them stop in the middle of them moving around, or go full-blown attack, which means they will horde in on whoever the closest enemy or civilian ends up being. The soldiers, of course, are your main threat in the game, as they will be using their guns to take you out, though there's also turrets later on, which are a real nuisance since they can't be taken out. There is a little mix-up of gameplay here and there. There's a couple of levels in the game which are more stealth-based. Basically, you have soldiers with more powerful weapons, basically machine guns, and there's no way to get close to them or actually eat them. Your goal is to actually get around them and kill the one scientist that's usually located on the opposite side of the map from you. While that seems like a pretty fun and interesting idea, unfortunately it is rather shallow. There is some challenge, as the game is more puzzle-based than actually action-oriented, running around and eating other people. I do like any game where you get to control a zombie, but the experience ends up being over way too quickly. While there are 30 levels, there's 20 for the main game, and then I guess there was an expansion Winter Snow version that adds another additional 10 levels, a couple of which are pretty challenging stages overall. Unfortunately, after playing the game for less than an hour, in fact it was like 45 minutes or so, I had already completed all of the levels in the game. I didn't get a 3-star rating in every level, but after that little bit of time, I already had all but 2 trophies. From the technical side, I think the game didn't slow down, crash, or bug out on me, though there was a couple of times the zombies didn't quite follow me all the way into like a corner so that I could hide and keep them safe while the soldiers were marching back and forth, but usually only a couple of times did that happen, and I was still able to beat all the levels pretty easily. iZombie is available on the PlayStation 4 for $4.49, which is a little bit of an odd price and honestly way too much for what the game ends up providing. It does not feature a full trophy list or a platinum. One thing that was a bit confusing is just the name. It's iZombie, as there is a show that's currently going on, I know, called iZombie, and it has no coalition with that as far as I could see. In the end, the game functions well enough, but I think it's a little bit too pricey, way too short, and no platinum. So, in the end, I'm going to be giving the game a 3 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.